What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Giving it today with another training video for you. What I've got today is a little bit of back training. It's kind of nearly completes the set, barring shoulders, of kind of pretty much my training split. So just basically just some shots of me in the gym, again just doing some sort of back training. I've kind of neglected training a little bit. I've kept my eye in, but not a lot. So this is kind of the first week where I've really kind of started to hit it hard again. To give you an idea, current weight is 96 kilos, which works out in stone at about 15.2 stone, something like that. Anyways, just to give you a bit of an idea of what I'm working with. I'm about 5'10", 5'11", so yeah, hopefully you enjoy it. If you do, please don't forget to click the like button if you're new to the channel. And please also don't forget to subscribe as well. What I will do as it goes through all the various cutscenes is I'll just post up what the sets and the rep range and everything are that I do. Weight-wise, pick your own. But yeah, a little bit of commentary to come, so thank you for stopping by. Really appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace. Okay, so here we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is my little warm-up as we start. Just wide grip pull-ups. I've done 6x3 on this one. Usually I'd do 6x4 or 8x3. Pull-ups always were one of the weakest movements for me. I always found it really, really difficult to do pull-ups. Jesus, I clench my ass a lot when I'm doing pull-ups. But yeah, it's just, for me, it's a nice way just to give an overall warm-up for the back and just to kind of activate. I hate using that term. But just to kind of get everything moving, get the blood flowing and just get yourself warm whilst you're getting ready to start on the rest of the movements for what you're actually trying to do. So yeah, pull-ups, really, really great way to start. Always do them at the beginning as well, because it's when you're at your strongest, and you're able to get the best sort of form out of it as well when you do them at the beginning. Makes it easier. Then moving on, go on to the hex bar deadlifts. I really like the hex bar more than doing standard deadlift, because what I tend to find is that doing the normal way of doing the deadlift or conventional way of doing the deadlift, I get the form all sucky and all completely wrong. So for me, using the hex bar just allows me to get into sort of the correct position for trying to keep that back flat when you're pulling yourself up, and just get more power and more movement and the explosiveness out of it when you're actually going up. I'm not lifting incredibly heavy weights whilst doing this. It's been a while since I've done back, so just wanted to kind of medium test myself and just kind of put myself, not through the motions, but give myself a little bit of resistance, but not too much. It's really important as well when you're doing deadlifts or using a hex bar or anything like that, that you push through your heels when you're pushing yourself up. Don't push through your toes. Just purely because you'll tend to lean a little bit further forward. So what you're seeing here is kind of the 2 start sets that I do, which is 12 reps for 2 sets, and then I move into just increasing the weight and doing it for 6 reps. I think the first time around I was using 70, the bar weight's 30, so 105, and then that's 90 plus 30, so about 125 on the second one, kilograms that is. And again, that's just for 6, but just for me, this using the hex bar is just easier for me because I tend to find that my form doesn't get compromised. I don't round my back as much as if I was doing sort of normal deadlifts. Then moving on to the next machine, go to the the seated row machine. Just do 10x3. I've done 2 versions of this, just so you can see it from the back, and then also so you can see it from the side profile as well, so you can see how I'm doing it. And it's just, I think I'm doing 60 kilograms to 30 on each side and just pulling it into the mid-range at the back. This is, for me, this is one of the best machines for working the mid section of your back, and you can pull some decent weight on it. From the actual side profile that you're going to see in a second, what you can see here is that what I try to do is just arc my back a little bit and really push my chest up. So just push your chest up while you're doing it, and you just get a better contraction while you're pulling the weights into the side of you, and try and make sure that you keep the weights level at the same time while you're doing that movement. Next one we've got the lat pull down. I use a really fat bar for this. I have like a proper overhand grip, so I don't put my thumbs underneath while I'm doing it. And the main reason for that is because when you grip with your thumbs underneath, what you tend to do is you grip tighter and tighter and tighter as the weight gets heavier. And what that actually does is it builds the lactic acid up into your forearms and puts an overall greater concentration on the biceps when you're pulling down. So what you'll find is that your arms get fatigued very, very quickly, and then your form and everything really starts to suck whilst you're doing that. So I find that a fat bar with an overhand grip, for whatever reason, I don't tend to grip as hard, so it just stops me from getting that kind of that lactic acid buildup. And you can see from the side profile here, which again for me it was important to show you this, but where I actually pull the bar to is down to my actual solar, pretty much to where my solar plexus is when I'm pulling it down, just so I can really, really get a nice squeeze at the bottom. So I'm really squeezing in tight as I'm pulling that down, and it just tends to work really well for me. Often you see a lot of people that pull and their arms come out in front of them as they're pulling it down, so it's almost like they're doing a wave motion, if that makes sense. Keep your arms to the side, pull it down to your chest, keep your chest stuck up, and you'll get the best benefit from it. Next one, we are going to the low row machine. It's this one, you're using a close grip on this one. And what you want to be aiming for when you're doing this is pulling right into your navel. But if you'll notice, when I'm doing this, what I actually do is, obviously, again, I've got kind of like an arc in my back, and I push my chest out, but I also stretch really far forwards as well to get the maximum stretch on the lats. So you're really, really letting it stretch down, control the negative, and then you pull it back in and squeeze a lot at the top. Try not to sort of fling-flang the weights around when you're doing this as well. Really try and concentrate on keeping the motion, the form, and the range of motion right. And that stretch and then pulling back in, you can really feel it activating on your lats, and it just makes it feel a lot better. You feel like, I know I do personally, that I'm getting a lot more benefit out of it when I'm doing it that way. But like I said, make sure that grip, using a close grip handle, and that you're aiming to get it to come into your navel region when you're doing it, because then you're working the lower portion of your lats, which really helps for that taper on your back. The last little exercise that I always tend to do is I tend to do the rear Delt Fly, just because people often negate doing deltoid exercises and you end up with looking massive at the front, but you don't have any shape to your delts at the back, and this just really helps kind of cap off the delt region at the back, so it gives that really nice kind of cobra look once you really see, if you want to get shredded and stuff, but it just helps build overall with the muscles as well, and work your delts when you're doing your shoulders as well, obviously. This last little section that I just wanted to bring is my activity log, sorry. This is my Fitbit Blaze that I've got. It's a great little piece of kit, but it just shows you my results from there. So overall, the whole workout, 51 minutes, average heart rate 121, max was 164, and I burnt 49 calories. That's it. Thanks, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.